right. All right, ladies. Detroit Press Play. We on time today.
What
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
yo?
Hey, now. You got
Hey.
always Lisa G. And we have our special guest, Angelina Taylor. She is with her organ. She is representing her own organization, Help Us Stay Safe. Did I say it right?
Helping us stay safe.
Helping us stay
Yes.
safe.
Yes.
Um, so I'm looking forward to this interview because I think it's so needed. We need a lot of people to speak up in regards to sexual assault, awareness, all of it. And so we thank you for coming on
Thank
Detroit
you
Press
for
Play.
inviting me.
We love to connect with people that have real issues, real brands, real businesses, all of it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Any words from you, Diavier?
No, I'm just excited to get into it. I think that it is a great thing that you're doing, bringing about awareness for those who have, or are still going through, are still going through
Yes.
sexual assault. And I'm excited to talk about it and learn more things that, they can do in order to overcome it. And I'm definitely anxious to hear your story.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, yes, yes. So, Angelina, if you could tell us about your organization and how it came about, we would love to hear that. And again, it's helping us stay safe.
Yes. So my organization is a nonprofit organization, and we focus on survivors, helping survivors, prevention, education, and most important, believing survivors. So that is what our organization do. Um, we Sexual assault matters. It truly, truly matters because this is something that happens every single day. Sexual assault takes place no matter if you're a child, no matter if you're a teen or an adult, male or female. It's something that happens often, and it's a silent awareness that I want to break. And my mission is to break the silence of sexual abuse, not just for the month of April, but for the long run. This is something that's always talked about because April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and we are here to educate people, survivors, and their families about sexual assault and believe in them the first time.
Absolutely, that's a huge problem.
Yes, it
A
is.
lot of people do not believe the victims, and I think well, I'm going to ask you the question: do you think that's why they go silent?
Yes, that's why they go silence because the for myself, when I was younger, um, the silence is them being afraid um, of retaliation, or the silence becomes when you tell and nothing happens. In my case, because sexual abuse started with me at a young age, with a stepbrother, and he used to chase me around the house with bugs and fish, whatever he could, to silence me from telling. And I think that took some of that out of me. And the more it happened to me, the older, I got molested and raped again as a 12-year-old, and that silence pushed back again, and it just deepens you. And when I finally felt like I could tell, I didn't voice it. I told through a letter. And in that letter, I still felt like my voice was taken from me, because nothing happened. I didn't see anything happen. And for years, nothing happened. So I continued to push it further and further down in my body and in my mind and in my heart, because I felt like nothing that I did helped me. So how can I break the silence to someone I thought I could trust? And nothing happened. And then learning years later that they thought they did something to help me, but I was not helped. And that's just how I felt, like I was not helped in that situation. So that's why I'm so confident that if survivors break their silence, that we can help children. We can we can stop harm before it happens to any more children, because it starts at a young age, and it's always by somebody we know, somebody that we trust, and somebody that we love. It's not about stranger danger. It's not about that at all. It's about those that you know, because most times it's somebody you know.
I agree.
Absolutely.
DeAndre, you have something?
No, I'm just agreeing with her. In the process, I'm looking up some screens that I want to post during the broadcast. So just don't mind me. But yes, I definitely agree. And I thank you for providing an outlet to those individuals who don't know how to voice, themselves. Just like you said, you wrote a letter. And I never thought of that before. I was always a boisterous type.
Mhm.
But even with me, I think that my situation, because I was a victim as well. And I think that before I even get into that, I think that we need to understand that there are different types of sexual abuse. It's not always penetration.
No, it's not.
Because I think that a lot of people tend to have that misconception
Mhm.
that, sexual abuse means that I was penetrated
Right.
in some type of way. It doesn't necessarily have to be a sexual touch. It can be a violation.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? A
Yes.
violation of, people, grown men saying things that they shouldn't be saying.
Exactly.
The touch on the leg. I don't know if anybody has ever noticed that, but some men out here are a lot touchy feely. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So you
Mhm.
want to make sure that you set those boundaries and don't allow anyone to just invade your space. Give me 50 feet. That really means something. So yeah, I definitely want to commend you on sharing your story so that other women who are watching this and other young ladies will be able to know that they too, can tell. You can tell, you
Yes.
know, it's several different creative ways to do it.
That's true. That's true. And like you were saying, there are different. It doesn't always mean physical. Um, it can be emotional. It can be a sextortion. It can be what somebody's saying to you. Because all of that, if it's unwanted, that's a part of sexual abuse. So any unwanted, physical or non-physical, is still sexual abuse.
Um, I have to add us back to the stage because
Oh,
something
yeah.
is a little
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
It's okay. But I'll continue to talk while you're working that. But definitely, because they're doing things to gain your trust. Um, I can't. I just can't imagine someone sitting there and they're trusting this person, and now, but it happens, right?
Right.
They're trusting because usually, like you said, it's a family member, it's somebody the family trusts, and leaves with these predators because that's what they are. They're predators.
Yeah. Yes, they are.
Yeah. I want to ask you, what are some other misconceptions that may be out there?
Um, so, like I was saying, the misconceptions basically unwanted touch, physical or non physical. I don't know if you guys heard, got me with that when I was saying that, but it can be physical or non physical touch. It can be something that they're saying to you. It could be something that it could be a touch, an unwanted touch. It can be a hug, an unwanted
Mhm.
hug. And if I tell you don't hug me, don't hug me. It's okay to come and shake my hand, especially if it's somebody that you don't really care for or you don't really know. And that's a boundary that you don't want them to cross. And I
That's
can
right.
remember a time or two. Some people, some men, they want to come and hug you from the front, instead of a hug from the side. And I know I have a daughter who felt uncomfortable with that with somebody, and I told her that same thing. You let them know that that's not, don't do that, because that is, in her case, if she felt violated by that. So anytime that you feel violated, um, It could be a sextortion, where they want you to send them photos and pictures and things like that of them, and you tell them no, and then they want to blackmail you. That can be a form of sexual abuse. So those are things that people they don't understand. If you saying something inappropriate to me and I ask you to not do that and you continue to do that, that's also sexual abuse. So people need to know that, whether it's a man doing it or a female do it, because it's both. Males and females can be predators. It's not just
Yes,
men.
yes, absolutely. I know of a few women that have been victims, and something was done to them by a female. So,
Mhm.
and I think it's harder to detect if
Yes.
you're actually being, messed with by a female more so
Mhm.
than a man, because you expect it from the male.
Right. Yes. No, it's the misconception. It's just men. No, it's not just men. Women do it too. And you have to be careful. You definitely have to be careful of who you keep your children around. Who, let your children speak. Let them talk. Let them tell what's going on. If somebody watching them, let them know that they're okay. It's okay to tell. Tell me when I come and get you. Tell me what happened. You know, if somebody touched you the wrong way, tell me. Let children
Mhm.
be able to tell, because when it was me growing up, I was always told to be quiet. I was always told, stop tattletelling. It make folk hate you. But
Yep.
it's okay to tattletale. It's okay to tell what happened to you, because if you keep telling a child stop telling or be quiet, that's another silence. So you're silencing me too. So it's not only the predator that silenced me, it's the parent that silenced me too, because I was told, be quiet, you talk too much. No, tell. Whatever happens to you, tell. That's the only way it's going to stop, is by telling. So let's break that silence when it comes to children. Let them be able to tell you how their day was. Let them be able to tell you who did this to them or who did that to them. Let them be able to talk and share this with you. And that's a way of breaking the silence when it comes to children. And as an adult, it take us forever to come out. I came out because I started therapy. Therapy helped bring that out of me. And that's another one. It's okay to go to therapy. People think that it's not okay to go to therapy, or something got to be wrong with you to go to therapy. Therapy helped me.
Yeah.
Therapy, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't from therapy. I would still have all that held inside of me. But I'm so free. I'm just, because being able to bring it up and out and push it and tell my story and to hear other people say thank you for doing this. This is something that's needed in our community. And it's not just about one community, it's all community, because it happens to everybody in all communities. And we just need to continue helping break that silence. If you feel like you're not ready to talk about it, but you feel like you want to see a therapist, go and see that therapist and let that therapist work with you, because that's
Nothing wrong
it.
with it.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with it.
not at all.
Yes. And I hate that. I don't know what happened to my face, but it went away. But it's all about you and getting your story out, your
Yes.
nonprofit out anyway. So that's why I'm not concerned. I think she's working behind the scenes
Okay.
to address, what we're seeing right now. But I still want to keep moving because of the importance.
Yes.
Um, Now, when it comes to youth, can you tell me what it looks like, what the behaviors may look like? Can you tell the viewers that they may be affected or
Yes.
impacted by assault?
So when you see a child being withdrawn, or they feel like they're scared to go to a certain place, or when they
Mhm.
see a person, they have a little fear in that person. That's something you want to take. You want to check it out. Or what is going on with this person, and why my child is acting like this around this person, or what don't my child want to go over to this person's house, or what's making my child withdraw, or what's making my child be mean and things like that, because that was me. I went from being shy to being drawn and protected, and I became a mean child, I would say. I had a wall, I built a wall up. So I encourage people and parents to watch their child's behavior, because it's going to be all in their behavior. It's going to be,
Yeah.
I don't want to go over this person's house. It's just, we need to educate our children, to create safe boundaries. And it's okay to say no. And it's okay to come and tell me if something happened to you.
And I think they fear because it's unfortunate, but those who are predators, they always make a threat.
Yes. Yeah.
And that person, unfortunately, is something they don't want to deal with. They don't want to face. So
Mhm.
they're silent,
Yes.
but they do show behaviors.
Yes.
It's a lot of different things that you could look at to say, oh, something's wrong here. Even when the child goes to school. I remember years ago going to school, and you could always tell when something was wrong with a child. You could always tell. It was
Yeah.
always a behavior. They were alone. They didn't play with others. They were mean. Some of
Mhm.
them were just silent.
Right.
And back then, those schools would call home. I don't know that they're doing that now.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think the world is very different right now.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes.
Well, we
Um,
definitely need to educate our children and
yes,
watch for their behaviors. That's the number one thing I would suggest to anybody that have small children. Watch their behaviors, because it's all in
yes,
their behavior.
yes,
You know?
definitely. And we just have to pay attention no matter how tired we are from working and different things. And then watch. It's unfortunate, but watch who you leave your children with. I think sometimes they're safer with a stranger
Mhm.
than with than with
Mhm.
someone they know.
Yes, yes, I definitely agree with that.
What's the percent that you think are people that are near and dear to us versus strangers?
80% is someone you know,
I think
and
that's a
that's
fair assumption too.
yes, about
Um,
80% is someone you know. It's most time is someone you know.
yes,
And I really want to say 90% of the time is someone you know, because every time I speak on it and I talk to different people, it's someone that they knew. We,
yeah,
like I was saying earlier, we teach our children about stranger danger, but sometimes the danger is right under
right
your
in the house,
yes,
right in the house.
yes, and it's like, wow, it truly is. Like when you
Yeah,
think about it, it's in your house or it's in another family member's house. Well, somebody took you to this particular house, not knowing that this was what's going to happen to you. You don't know.
absolutely.
You just think you're a child, and you come over here thinking that it's one thing, and then it's something different. And that was it for me. It's just like, how do I tell I don't want to go over here? And my thing, I was so worried about what other people thought. You know, what if I tell and then they think this? Or what if I tell and they think that? So what? Let them think it. Tell anyway.
And what about the child that because there's always someone who thinks that they're the reason it happened. I'm the reason. Maybe I did this and I shouldn't have. You have those periods in life, and then some people don't have it. But for the ones who out there, they believe it's their fault.
It's not your
What
fault.
would you say to them?
It is not your fault. It was never your fault. And you deserve to heal.
You deserve to
Those
heal.
three. It was
Absolutely
not
right.
your fault. It was never your fault. You deserve to heal. And you are not alone. You are not alone in this, because there's so many others like us. We are survivors of sexual abuse. And
Absolutely.
just because we're survivors don't mean we can't break that silence. Break that silence. Free yourself from this. I promise you, you will free yourself from this by breaking that silence. It's going to release so much inside of you, because that was me. And it released so much inside of me that I feel so free to talk about. And I used to be so vulnerable because I didn't want people to see me cry. Um, but it's not even about that. It's about you. It's your journey. And sometimes it takes longer for others. But I was 50, I was 48 years old when I broke my silence to my therapist.
Mm-hmm.
48. And then it took me another 2 years to start helping us stay safe. And I started helping us stay safe because of this, because of me going to therapy, and because I wanted to bring this out. I wanted to bring this awareness out because it's awareness that's so quiet that you don't hear about. But let's break the silence of sexual abuse.
Yes,
Let's break that silence.
I agree. I agree. It's time. Um, so many people carry this into their adult life, and it hurts. I know it hurts to carry that around for years, and I just worry about them achieving goals that they want to do because some people they go to drugs. They think
Mm.
that this is the life. Okay, they did it, so I must have done something wrong. So I just keep doing it or keep
Mhm.
allowing it. Um, it's a bad place to be in.
It is. And you know what? That's another thing. You don't know what people going through. You don't know what's going to go to drugs, or, whatever it is that they may go to alcohol, or a lot of times they become promiscuous. Um, Sometimes they withdraw from sex. It's so many different ways that we deal with this. Survivors deal with being sexually abused. So it's just about, once they come to you, believe them. You know, um, we don't know what people are going through. And when they decide to break that silence, for me, I made sure that I protected my children, because I have all girls. So I told them who to stay away from. I told them, if something happens, tell me. Told them that I'm here to protect them. It's my job to protect them, and I'm going to do everything that I can to protect them. And for me, I kind of sheltered my children. I felt like they thought I was a strict parent, but it wasn't about being a strict parent. It was about protection, protecting them, making sure nothing happened to them. So that was my thing that I did when I had children. Um, I put a hold on them a little bit, um, instead of releasing and letting them go. And I just was scared that something was going to happen to them that happened to me. And I didn't want that for them, because I know how it affected me growing up. And, I had my oldest daughter when I was 16 years old. And then, you have people that meant that myth of, oh, she was fast, or this, that, and there's so many things that people say when when girls have children at a early age. But being sexually abused, for me, it put that sexual appetite out there, I should say. But I was also withdrawn as well. So it was painful and scary at the same time. But I did, go out there, and I tried to, have a normal life. But in trying to have a normal life, in the back of my mind, I always thought and felt the threat from the abusers slash the predator. I can't hear you if you're saying something.